So Nordic Christmas. Now, you know I love my mixed media. I love my layering, which is what Textures is all about. Actually, one thing I never mentioned with Textures is kind of behind the brand, where the name came from, and the little sort of subtitle that we've got on the name as well. So Textures. Now, if you've known me for a while on social media in the craft industry, you know, a few years ago I got into lettering, hand lettering, and I love it. And I love to bring lettering elements and fonts into my paper crafting, into card making, because I want to mix the two. I didn't have time to just do lettering and then just do paper crafting and just do scrapbooking and everything else. I wanted to mix them. So that's where the brand Textures comes in. So it brings in elements of fonts and letters into your paper crafting. So that's in your stamps, for example. It's playing on using sentiments and things like that, and phrases and words in there. And we've got the little subtitle under the logo here, Textures. Obviously in the dictionary, you always have the little bit in brackets, don't you, that says how to pronounce a name. So Textures, it's a noun, the quality created by the combination of different elements. That's really important. The combination of different elements. That's what Textures is all about, bringing different elements together, layering them up to create these effects. Now you can see little sneak peeks of everything around here, but let's start with possibly my favourite item of the entire collection. Just going to make sure I've got the live chat on so I can see when you're commenting. This is the Nordic panels, and they're 5x7. You get 3 dies in here. So there's the layering dies, and then you get the outside die. This is ever so slightly larger than the layering panels, so you can put a border, can you see with these two, you can put a border, a coloured or a white border behind, or cut your card base to the perfect size. So you've got the border die, then you've got the layering panels. Now these can both be used on their own. They are beautiful on their own. You've got one that's really highly detailed and one that's a little less detailed, and I will be cutting both today, so you'll be able to see the effect of both. But they layer up absolutely perfectly. When you layer one over the other, you're going to get a peek through. So you see some of the colour of this one and then some of the colour further through to your background. So you're effectively creating 3 layers. So many of you saw this sneak peek that I did on social about a week ago, where I did the ombre with the new Uncharted Mariner Distress ink, and then there's Salty Ocean and I want to say Speckled Egg, probably something like that. I blended some ink, I die cut with the lesser detailed panel, then I die cut a plain white panel and I layered the 2 on top, and this is the effect you get. Now this is glued on flat. Okay, no foam pads or anything. So if I just, I mean, you've got a little bit of foam under the title there, the sentiment, but the actual panel is glued on completely flat. Look at the dimension you're getting. Now what I love about this, and one thing I have not had chance to do, I've run out of time, I will be doing it, I might even do it as a live or something because it'll be nice and relaxing, is you can embroider into the holes in this front panel, because if you look carefully, you've got snowflakes in there as well, in those pinholes. Really clever, really, I mean, the graphic designer that works with me from the Practical Publishing team, from the CraftStash team, she is so clever. I mean, I design all this, but then she makes it so that it works for you as craft as it works as a die. So yeah, she needs half the kudos as well. She's brilliant. So you can see I've got the blue one there. Everything you're going to see on these cards, all the sentiments, all the panels, all the backgrounds, they're all going to be available, besides possibly some pattern papers maybe, but we'll come to those later. So you can see here I've just actually used 2 layers as well, because you don't have to do the layering of both. You can just use 2. So just that white panel on top and then a rainbow underneath. Really quick cards and quick backgrounds. And then I've got wood grain paper with black underneath. And we'll come to the stag head and everything in a little while. How cool is that for a masculine feel? It doesn't even have to be Christmassy either. Let me just check the comments. Donna, she said she hasn't started her Christmas crafting yet, but she will do soon. Yeah, we need to get on with it, don't we, Donna? I know, you and me both. I'm actually probably going to be using some of these this Christmas. Lovely card making. Thank you, Faye. That's lovely. So that is the panels die set. So the set of 3 there, 5x7. Again, there's lots of other examples around here that I could pick up. Now this is the one that's been flying out of the warehouse this morning. I've shown a few sneak peeks so you can see how it works. I love it. Now this came about because I had, within my fixtures and fittings range, I had a 3-dimensional star. I don't know if you remember it, it was a star, it was about this big, and it was flat backed, so you could put it onto a card or a mixed media project, and it sold out so quickly. And I said I would love to have a Christmas tree, a little bit quirky, so it's a little bit blocky, almost a faceted Christmas tree that is, again, 3-dimensional, flat, to be able to put onto a card, a scrapbook page, a journal, front of a journal, whatever, if you want to, but really easy to put together, one piece with tabs that just fold into each other. And that's what we've got. Again, the designer, she worked so hard. She was amazing on this. I mean, look at this. This is not the flat back version, obviously. This is 2 flat back pieces put together. How clever. I'm going to be doing this probably as my second demonstration, so stay tuned for that to see how easy it is. We've got the option of all the detail as well, so there's little LED lights in that one. That is going in my house at Christmas this year. But this is, you can see another one here actually I've been playing. This is how it will sit on a card if you just do one version. So quick to put together. This one I've spritzed, I've added paint flicks and things like that, glitter to it as well. This is just 3 elements, or well, 2 elements really. So it's just plain green cardstock. You see there the pattern. I've actually embossed these front 3 panels with an embossing folder that's included in the collection. I've then used the Creative Expressions fluffy stuff. So that's this, if you've seen it before, heated it up so it goes all puffy, it's like puffy glue. And I've got myself a Christmas tree there. Now I can be making that contemporary, modern, traditional, however you want to do it, whatever style you want to. And then you can also, and this is one I need to do a video on, and I will do very soon, so you can join. Make sure you're subscribed to the CraftStash YouTube channel, but also make sure you subscribe to my own YouTube channel as well, which is Paper Crafting with Lou Collins, because I'll get videos up on both. This one is the same tree, but can you see it's much slimmer? So the base of this is much slimmer than this one, and it's not quite as deep either, but it's got the 2 sides rather than the 3. Really, again, really quick and easy to do. You just need to snip some bits off and glue things together, and it's kind of folded into itself a bit more as well, so it doesn't stick out quite as far. So that's the Christmas tree. Let me just show you the size of the die. You will need your A4 die cutting machine for this. It's a big die, but once it's cut out, all your tabs are there. You then get the option of all of these bits as well. Let's just grab these out. Now, a little tip for you, because I've learnt the hard way. You've got a couple of little dies in here, and these little dies have pointy bits on them, like this. They like to stick right into the very corners of your paper envelope and not come out when you shake them out. So do keep them in the plastic pocket that they come in there. Now what we've got here is we've got the pot. So that is a pot that will potentially, if you want to, you can cut that shape out and it will sit under your Christmas tree. Then you've got you've got the star as well. It's a faceted star. I will show you that later on as well. I've got one of those cut for you. And then we've got snowflakes and Nordic design panels that will fit in the spaces, in the panels of the tree. Okay. Again, I'm going to show you all of this. So that's where you can go from solid and embossed or inked or whatever to the pretty panels, and you can choose. Like I say, you do have the Nordic. Let me just show you the front. You have the Nordic design, which is kind of like your Fair Isle patterns, and then you've got your snowflakes as well. So that's those. We'll get to demonstrating as quickly as possible. Let me just check. Sam Hope, she's doing her Christmas cards in this blistering heat, which makes it feel very strange. It does. Do you know what? I'm sitting here with the air conditioning on in a summer vest, a summer top. I have got more clothes on, by the way. And I'm talking about Christmas trees and snowflakes and things. It is really odd. But never mind, it's what we have to do as crafters. Now, this is the next item. So this is a stamp and die set. So you'll have 2 dies. The dies are stag shapes, beautiful outlines. Now, we could have just done these on their own because they are just fun shapes that you're going to use time and time again. They make amazing apertures for things like shaker cards and things like that. But yeah, there's a lot more that you can do with those. When you team them with, I'm going to just bring this in actually so you can really see the design on there. When you team them with these stamps. Now, these took me a painfully long time to design because what I've done is I've taken the initial shape, the silhouette, purely in solid colour, so you can do an ombre inked effect, you can heat emboss that, whatever you want to, and then coming out of here, of each one, are some words. So this is where the text comes in of textures. We've got glisten, frosty, sparkle, snow, flurry, winter, words like that. We've also got this gorgeous flurry of snowflakes, but not only do they come out of the side here, they also just go into the silhouette a little bit to give it texture, to give it dimension, to give it detail as well. But of course, where the black went into the silhouette, I had to make that a negative into there. So I had to take the design out of the silhouette, which was, it was difficult. It took a little while. I do these sort of things digitally, but yeah, it took a while, but it's there, and I absolutely love these. So these are two, I would say they're around about A6 in size each on an A5 sheet. They come in with the dies as well. Now the reason we've got the dies is so that you can do cards like this. So you can just have the stag head. You can see those, the words and the snowflakes just touching the edges there. Then I've used just the words and the snowflakes element of the stamp to put some detail into the background. This is another example. So you can cut into your heat embossed silver image and then place another stamped image of a different colour behind. So we've got the two-tone effect there, like this. And I will, if I get time at the end, I'm going to show you how to do this one. So simply stamped in black really quickly, die cut around that silhouette, and then just raise that die cut up on foam pads. So where I've got the wood grain around the edge, you can then see peaks of the wood grain underneath as well. You could put a really bright colour. You could actually maybe put some LED lights behind there so it's just glowing. You know, have some fun with that. And here's a fun one that Marta's done, and she's just used that stag silhouette on its own for a really traditional card on top of that really lovely Nordic panel die set. So there's so many ways of using the stamps and dies. Then as a kind of hold it all together set, I've also got the tags and the sentiments, or sentiments and tags. This one, look, the tags are huge. They're not small tags, they're not small sentiments either. The packaging makes them look tiny. They're really not. Look at the size of these tags. Aren't they amazing? So these tags that I've created are using these dies. You can see I've cut through multiple layers of cardstock. I've cut through corrugated cardstock as well there. The words, so I've got merry. It's probably better if I show you these words actually on the project, because you can see here we've got all the tags and label shapes. We've got a cutout panel, so this is going to cut detail into your panels, the bottom of your tags. You can create a border on your cardstock with that as well. We've got the words Merry Christmas and Festive Wishes twice each, because we've got each one in this kind of block label design, and then we've also got them in the brush script. And this is again textures, different texts, different fonts, mixing and matching them. So when we're looking at these, for example, I've used festive wishes, mix them around, you've got completely different sentiments. Okay, I love to mix up. Here's one, just Christmas wishes, because you can use festive wishes, Christmas wishes, happy Merry Christmas, Merry Festive Wishes, you know, all these different ones. You can just use the word Merry or Christmas. And wishes you can use away from Christmas as well. So Marta's used this panel again, really beautiful colours. She's inlaid hearts and some of the diamonds back in a red. And that sentiment is just in red, just using the brush script. You don't, of course, have to be mixing and matching the fonts if you don't want to. There's some of those tags. So that tag with one of the labels cut out, made into a shaker card. And here, a little more of your sort of distressed look with that stag head, that die that we just saw in the stamp set. The word Christmas. I love this design of paper as well. Marta, if you're still in the comments, let me know where the papers have come from for this, or let everybody else know, because they're really pretty. They're inked around the edges as well, so it just gives them that distressed look. But the tags layered up behind too, and that word there. So there's so much that you can be doing with these. You're going to use these time and time again. They're just going to keep coming out. You can see how much I use them. I've got low tack tape stuck to the back of the packet. And the last two items before we get demonstrating, let me see, it always takes so long for my comments to catch up on my phone, so I'll just give that a second and I'll go and see. Two embossing folders now, lastly. Now these are for your backgrounds, of course. When you're talking about textures, background is so important. That's often where we start. So have a look at this. So we've got the beautiful, again, it's like your Fair Isle pattern, and Marta's just used it on these two cards in the background, just in white, and it adds texture to it. When you then use your spritzes, your dusts and things like your powders, your inks, your watercolours, it's going to fall into the patterns of that embossing. Can you catch that? It's just absolutely beautiful. She's actually used it on a lot of her projects. I'm going to be using it as well. And here is the other embossing folder, just this one here. So this is the berries and pine. I forgot the name then for a second. So you can just see it in the background. How pretty is that?